I was skeptical about this one. I mean, I've seen a lot of pre-built gaming PCs over the years, and most of them either cut corners on cooling or load you up with bloatware. But when ViprTech offered to send me their Reaper 4.0 with the Ryzen 7 8700F and RTX 5070, I figured it was worth a closer look. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First thing that stood out was the build quality. Every ViprTech machine is put together by hand in the USA and then stress tested before it ships. That's not something you see on every spec sheet, and it makes a real difference when you're opening the case. The tempered glass side panel shows off the liquid-cooled Ryzen 7 running at 5.0 GHz, RGB lighting pulses through the mesh front and the fans, so it actually looks like a custom rig instead of a beige box. If you're the type who likes to show off your internals, this thing is basically a mini showcase. Performance-wise, the 2TB NVMe SSD is the first thing you notice. Booting into Windows 11 feels instant, games load in seconds, and even large video editing timelines open without that annoying stutter. I dropped a 4K 60 frames per second gameplay capture straight onto the desktop and started editing in Premiere without any lag, which is exactly what you want when you're trying to hit a deadline. The 32GB of DDR5 RAM keeps everything smooth whether I'm streaming to Twitch, running a Discord call with 3 friends, and still tabbing over to Chrome with 20 tabs open. The RTX 5070 12GB handles ray tracing and DLSS without breaking a sweat. I ran Cyberpunk 2077 at 1440p with RT Ultra and DLSS balanced, and I was still getting 80+ frames. Virtual reality fans will appreciate the included headset compatibility. I popped in my Meta Quest 3 and the Steam VR Home ran buttersmooth at 90 Hz. The 800W gold-rated PSU gives you plenty of headroom for future upgrades, and the Wi-Fi 6 Plus Bluetooth combo means you're not hunting for an Ethernet cable or a dongle. Cooling is where this machine really earns its keep. The Ryzen 7 is liquid-cooled right out of the box, so even under full render load the CPU temps stayed in the low 70 degrees Celsius range. That's impressive for a pre-built, and it means you won't be reapplying thermal paste every 6 months. Noise levels are reasonable too, fans ramp up under load, but they don't scream like some budget boxes I've tested. One small quirk: the case is a little snug if you want to swap out the RAM later. ViprTech ships it with two 16GB sticks already installed, so unless you're comfortable removing the side panel and wrestling with the clearance, you might want to decide on your memory config up front. Also, Windows 11 comes pre-installed with the usual OEM bloat, but a quick reset to a clean install solves that in about 20 minutes. Overall, this PC feels like it was designed by gamers who actually open their machines. The hand-built quality, the liquid cooling, the massive SSD, and the RTX 5070 all add up to a system that's ready for today's titles and tomorrow's updates without breaking the bank. If you want a high-end desktop that looks good, runs quiet, and still has room to grow, the ViprTech Reaper 4.0 is worth a serious look. You'll find the full specs and current pricing down below. For most buyers, the real question is not whether ViprTech Reaper 4.0 gaming PC AMD Ryzen 7 8700F 5.0 GHz liquid-cooled, RTX 5070 12GB, 32GB DDR5 RAM, 2TB NVMe SSD, 800W Gold, VR-ready, Wi-Fi BT, Win 11, desktop computer. Black sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like system and showcase your internals with the built-in RGB lighting system actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off. It is also smart to think about long-term satisfaction. A product like ViprTech Reaper 4.0 gaming PC, AMD Ryzen 7 8700F, 5.0 GHz liquid-cooled, RTX 5070 12GB, 32GB DDR5 RAM, 2TB NVMe SSD, 800W Gold, VR-ready, Wi-Fi BT, Win 11, desktop computer. Black usually feels like the better buy when it stays convenient, comfortable, and reliable in normal everyday use instead of only looking good in the listing.